Hi, my name is Charlie McGrath. I'm the founder of WideAwakeNews.com and a host on the Rinse Radio Network. Are we headed for violent, armed revolution in the United States of America? I believe if you ask somebody like Sheriff Rick Bradshaw down there in Palm Beach County, California, he would probably say it's very much a possibility. In fact, he was just given $1 million from state government in order to set up a new violent prevention crime unit. Now, I didn't know the sheriff's department's job was to do anything other than prevent violent crime, but apparently he received an extra $1 million because of the events of Aurora, Colorado, and Sandy Hook, and so on. All these things that are being dragged out and put before the mainstream media so that we can understand that a stronger security, a stronger police state is necessary. In fact, Sheriff Bradshaw said in his statements accepting this money that he wants people to call the police. They want them to call the sheriff's department if their neighbors utter a statement such as, they hate the government. You see, this country is in peril. I know we don't get this from establishment media, but the facts are we're in a lot of trouble, and the powers that be understand completely where we're going, even if most of the country doesn't. And I say most of the country doesn't because that's where most folks are. They're stuck in the pop culture. However, the number of people waking up is growing. Another poll that came out today shows that that fact is nothing but true. In fact, 18% of Democrats right now believed an armed revolution is in our future in the next couple of years to preserve our freedom and our liberty. 27% of independents believe this, and a staggering 44% of Republicans believe this, that armed revolution is coming in the next few years in order to protect our freedom in this country. You see, we can be inundated by establishment media all day long. We can be inundated by green shoots and hopetimism all day long. But in reality, when the suffering is beyond hiding, when we can no longer pave it over anymore, the truth is going to be known. Reality is going to set in for everybody. And with statistics like the following, it's not going to be long before this reality is known to everybody. 7% of the wealth in this country, or excuse me, 7% of the people in this country now control 63% of the wealth. In this time of recovery and optimism and green shoots, 2009 to 2011, the bottom 93% of people in this nation, their net worth fell by 4% in the time of recovery. In this time of the stock market going to record highs, 93% lost 4% of their net wealth, while that top 7%, their net worth increased by a whopping 28%. 1% of this nation has more wealth than the bottom 90%. In fact, this number should shock you. 400 people, the top 400 wage earners or wealthiest people in this nation, have more money, more wealth accumulated than the bottom 150 million people in this country. Half this nation has as much wealth as the top 400. The middle class is the smallest it's been in recorded history. The percentage of middle class income in GDP is as small as it's been in history. The percentage of corporate profit being a percentage of GDP is as large as it's been in the history of this country, or at least since they've been keeping records on these kind of things. 1 in 4 people listening to this video right now, you're stuck in a country, in a world that has inflating prices on everything you need to sustain life. The commodities you need to buy, food, water, shelter, those things are all going up in value. But 1 out of 4 of you, as we export jobs and manufacturing around this world, 1 out of 4 of you is making $10 an hour or less. 146 million Americans tonight are sitting here either categorized as in poverty or in low income. Why do we think that the people in this country are going to rise up? Why do people like myself and others in independent media think this is inevitable? Because you can live in optimism for only so long. Reality will set in. These half of the people of this nation that are scampering around trying to collect a pittance so they can pay higher prices for food, for shelter, for basic necessity items, they're only going to be there so long before they rise up. You can't pull the wool over everybody's eyes all the time. And this latest poll showing 44% of Republicans, 27% of independents, and 18% of Democrats believe we are heading towards armed revolution. This poll indicates that exactly that is coming true. People are waking up to the reality on the ground, not the fantasy that's presented by the politicians in Washington, D.C. and their media that is corporately controlled. A lot of those same corporations that are raking in profit hand over fist at the people's expense. Stories are attached. Please wake up. That's all I got.